Hi everyone, my name is Alicia. I wanted to sit down with you today and talk to you about what I did to have a successful IVF, the first try. I have almost 11-month-old twins, beautiful twins that are downstairs with their daddy right now so that I could sit and chat with you. So first of all, I am by no means a fertility expert at all. I do not have MD behind my name. I found there are 10 things I really believe contributed to me having a successful first round of IVF. So I thought that I wanted to go ahead and share that with you, and hopefully it could help you as well, because you yourself want to be a mother or father for the first, second, or third time and are having a little bit of difficulties conceiving and are either going through IVF or considering it. So I just wanted to share some of my tips, what I did, what I avoided, and hopefully it can help you. So I'm not going to go too much into my fertility history, why me and my husband decided to do IVF. I did already do a few videos on that I shared on this page, so I'll go ahead and link those. You can go ahead and click on that if you want to hear a little bit more about our history and why we did IVF and my journey with that. But this video is just strictly about the 10 things that I did to get pregnant the first try with IVF. I'm going to go ahead and start with the 3 things that I avoided. So the first thing I avoided was caffeine. Now, this is a tough one for you avid coffee drinkers out there. I think it's really important to avoid caffeine at least the first trimester. So what I did was about 2 weeks before I did my implant, I quit coffee, and that's all I really had was like one strong cup of coffee. But like my husband said, my coffee, my 1 cup was almost enough for a full pot, like how strong it was. So even though I only needed one, I drank a full day's worth of coffee in my first cup in the morning. So I didn't have a hard caffeine crash right after I implanted. I quit a couple of days prior, and I did start coffee back up after my first trimester, like around 12 weeks, because my pregnancy hormones were going crazy and I was having headaches every day. And the doctor was like, just have a cup of coffee already. So I kind of weighed the pros and cons. Should I have Tylenol every day or a cup of coffee? So I did start having like a weak cup of coffee, but after my first trimester. The reason why I avoided caffeine is there have been studies that show that consumption of caffeine can lead to miscarriage. And obviously it doesn't happen every time. There are plenty of women that never gave up coffee during their whole pregnancy. But I just felt that it was important for me personally, if it was something that could be possibly beneficial to my pregnancy or for me to keep holding my pregnancy, it was just something I could give up. But I did need to start drinking it again after a while. So you don't have to give up caffeine forever. I think that my bit of advice, if you can't put down the cup of joe or your Cokes or whatever, just try to have it in moderation. You know, if you usually drink 3-4 cups of coffee a day, cut it back down to 1. Okay, the second thing I avoided was dairy. Now, I picked dairy because I'm lactose intolerant. You may not be lactose intolerant. Milk and dairy has always bothered my stomach. Basically, your body's #1 goal is to keep you alive and to keep you from being hurt. And so if your body has to focus on some irritant in your digestive tract, it's not going to care about your reproductive organs, because you don't need to reproduce to live. Just try to avoid those kind of things that you know don't really make you feel that well after you eat them. And in this case as well, it didn't last forever. I started eating cheese again after, which is my weakness. I started eating cheese again after about 7 weeks. And I actually didn't have any lactose intolerant symptoms during my pregnancy. After my pregnancy though, yes, they definitely came back. The third thing I avoided was toxins. So the things within your control. You cannot stop all the smog out in the world, but obviously you avoid the 3 major ones: drugs, alcohol, and smoking. I did have wine and some cocktails every now and again when I was doing the IVF medications, the treatments, but I stopped after I had the implant, because once you're implanted, you're pretty much pregnant until proven otherwise. So when I was pregnant, so I didn't drink anymore at that point, but I did drink during my medications. Going further into the avoiding toxins, what I mean is toxic fumes. Trying to stay away from bug sprays and strong cleaning agents and things like that. I'm a bleach freak, so I clean with bleach everywhere. So when I was pregnant, or after my implant, I just stopped cleaning with those kind of things and try to be as natural as possible. Okay, so those are the 3 things that I avoided. Now let's get into the 7 things that I did. The first thing was fertility acupuncture. So I did fertility acupuncture before I actually started the IVF treatments. I had already had my consultation and baseline ultrasound and things like that, but before I actually started the treatments, I did about 2 months of fertility acupuncture. Now, I would have continued them during my IVF process or my IVF treatments, but I hated it so much. I hated laying there still with pins in my head and in my ear and in my stomach and having to lay flat and still for 30 minutes and listening to weird whale noises in the background. Ugh, I'm getting shivers thinking about it again. And I know you're probably wondering, why are you recommending something you hated? Well, I think because it really helped. Basically, in a nutshell, fertility acupuncture causes blood to go to your uterus. And so with that brings nourishment, with that brings the white blood cells that kill bacteria and foreign objects, and it just cleans your uterus out. That's the theory behind it. And so I did that for a couple of months, and they also give you different herbs and things like that that help your reproductive organs. So I really think, even though I did not enjoy it, I really think that that had a big, tremendous help with me getting pregnant. And I definitely would recommend it. The second thing I did was I took my prenatal vitamins early. I started early, probably 2-3 months before I even began IVF. Prenatal vitamins are packed full of vital nutrients and minerals to support a pregnancy. So I just felt that it gave my body a good jump start to have those nutrients in it already before I started my egg retrievals and the implant. Plus, another bonus is it helps with healthy hair and nails. I kind of think I should probably go back to doing that again. I'm just taking a Chewy women's vitamin right now, but those prenatals, they really make your nails beautiful and your hair beautiful anyway, so hey, it doesn't hurt to do it. Another important vitamin is vitamin D. Studies have found that the majority of women who are infertile or having trouble conceiving, all of them are usually vitamin D deficient. A lot of us have jobs that are indoors, or when we do go outside, we lather ourselves with SPF 100 because we're always told, protect your skin from the sun, it'll give you wrinkles, it'll give you skin cancer. So we don't get enough of vitamin D from the sun. So we have to supplement. So even though your prenatal will have vitamin D in it already, it doesn't hurt just to go ahead and add some more. So I had a liquid version of it where I just did like a little drop under my tongue, but you can get, you know, capsules of vitamin D. So just have that as part of your daily vitamin, just add it in there. This one's really important. Trust your doctor. Trust your doctor, trust your nurse, trust your patient coordinator. You're gonna wanna do your research and find a good facility where you feel comfortable in order to do this. I think the best thing to do is if you know someone that has had IVF, ask them, a successful IVF, ask them where they went. You want to go somewhere where you know that they have high success rates. Interview all of the facilities and see which one you feel the most comfortable with. And like I said, the best way to pick a doctor is if you know someone who has had a successful IVF, and I would go with them. IVF is stressful. It's extremely expensive. So it's a big financial risk, and it's not always guaranteed it's gonna work. You're sticking yourself with these large needles every day and taking all this medication that is making your hormones go crazy. So it's really easy to feel stressed out and to lash out at your doctor or your patient coordinator if they don't get back to you right away. But trust me, they know what they're doing. They do this for a living, and they want you to succeed, not only because I'm sure they care about you, but they also want want their numbers to be high so that they get more customers. So they want your IVF round to work. So trust me, they know what they're doing. They aren't God, so there's some things that are out of their hands, but just relax and know that you're in good hands. But by no means am I saying don't ask a million, trillion, gazillion questions. If, you know, why this medication? Why not that? Why are you picking this? Whatever questions you have, ask. It's your right to know why the doctor's choosing a certain protocol for you. So don't ever feel that you need to just go at it blindly. You can ask as many questions you want, but you really do need to trust them. Because the last thing you need, you're already going to be stressed out, is to be second guessing your doctor. It's just not going to make things better, trust me. Frozen embryo transfer, or FETs, over fresh transfers. Some people don't have an option. Their insurance only will cover fresh embryo transfers. But if you have a choice, I would do frozen embryo transfers, hands down. After you do an egg retrieval, you still have all those follicle stimulating hormones going through your bloodstream. So for you to implant a fresh embryo, which would probably be about 5 or 6 days later, that's likely still in your bloodstream, and it didn't give your body a chance to flush it out. So in a natural pregnancy, those hormones wouldn't be circulating in your blood. So it's an unnatural environment for the embryo to ever encounter that. When you do the frozen embryo transfer, the embryos turn into the blastocysts, but then they freeze them. You give your body a chance to flush out the follicle stimulating hormones that shouldn't be there when an embryo is present. And then it gives you a chance to have the estrogen and the progesterone. And another cool thing is you can pick your baby's birthday. You can do your egg retrieval, and you could go back and have the baby a year later if you wanted to, or a month later. So you can choose when you want to be pregnant. So maybe you did your IVF, but there was this big trip you and your husband wanted to go on. And so you can go do that trip before you come back and implant. It's actually great to have a little extra control. But the main reason is it can be a toxic environment if there's still that follicle stimulating hormones and drugs and things like that in your bloodstream when you do a fresh transfer, because it's a little too soon. But I'm not saying fresh transfers don't work. They work all the time. But frozen embryo transfers have a higher success rate. So if you have the choice, I would go with frozen embryo transfer. Me personally, we waited about a month. And then I went on and started the implant process. And it was because I did my egg retrieval in early August, but it was a really busy month for me at work. So I was gonna do a lot of travel. I knew I was just gonna be under a lot of stress. So I wanted to wait until September to do the implant. So I had my last egg retrieval, I wanna say August 5th or something like that, but I didn't implant until September 26th. Rest after implant. So there isn't any scientific proof that bed rest helps you implant better. But what I basically did is I had like a modified bed rest. I just chilled. I came home, and I did this for about 3 days. I basically just was a couch potato. I just got up just to take a shower, get me something to eat, or use the bathroom. But I just relaxed. I cleaned up a little bit, like picked up, but I didn't, get on the floor and scrub and lift furniture or go for a run or anything crazy like that. I just relaxed. So I think to try to de-stress, I had gone through so much. I did again, check out my other videos so you see my journey, but I did go through 2 egg retrievals, even though I did 1 implant. I just was, I had all this medication, all this stress, and is this gonna work? And I just wanted to just relax, and I think that was important. It's like, my babies are in now, let's just have a low heart rate, let's just relax. Okay, this last thing is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of silly, but they're old wives' tales, and people swear by it. So I said, why not? So I ate McDonald's French fries, pineapple core, and wore warm socks during my 2-week wait. So after my implant, we went directly to McDonald's. So I got some fries, and I got on the couch and I laid down and watched TV and ate French fries. The pineapple core, I think I ate that for like 5 days. And you know, you just take the core and cut it up, and I just would eat like one little piece in the morning for I think about 5 days. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna be looking down here to read. The reason behind pineapple is the fruit contains bromelain, an enzyme with anti-inflammatory, anticoagulant, and blood-thinning properties. Some fertility doctors prescribe low-dose aspirin, which is a blood thinner, to help improve blood flow to the uterus. So the idea is that pineapples could mimic that effect. Hey, why not? You know? Pineapples are delicious too. Okay, so the reason behind the socks is that in Chinese medicine, your feet are connected to the uterus. So cold feet would mean cold uterus. So warm feet would equal warm uterus. So I did that. And then French fries, I have no idea. But I love McDonald's French fries. So anyways, those are the 10 things that I did that I believe are the reason why I had a successful IVF. And I want to wish you the best of luck. It is the most craziest experience, but trust me, nothing's crazier than having the baby. But it is so worth it to do whatever it takes to get that baby that you want. Every needle stick, every bit of money you spend, every tear you shed, it is so worth it to have that bundle of joy in your arms after all is said and done. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment down below if you have any questions, or I would love to hear your story. And please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell. I am planning on my channel to show day in the life. So I'm actually going to be releasing my first day in the life next week. And you can see what it's like with twins, 11-month-old twins. Oh my goodness, it is so much work. So I'm gonna try to show a weekly day in the life, and then I also throw in some other little fun videos as well in. But I hope that you subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to be friends. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.